Okay, so let's watch for this. The other chatter around this obviously has been what happens to all the money that was spent to buy the asset and the money that was spent then to revive it as well. We've got Latha joining in. Latha, what's the sense that you're picking up in terms of the money that banks also got?
JSW paid the banks 19,300 crores to acquire the nearly 83% stake in Bhushan Power. They paid separately 350 crore to operational creditors. Now, in the judgment which I read, it's a 103-page judgment, in the last order, the Supreme Court says that payments made by JSW to financial creditors and operational creditors should be dealt with as per the statement of Abhishek Manu Singhvi, advocate of the bankers, in an order dated March 6, 2020. So we had to go back to the March 6, 2020 order. On March 6, Singhvi, on behalf of the COC, that is the Committee of Creditors, gave an undertaking that if in the Supreme Court, something happened and the case went against JSW, then all the money paid by JSW to the creditors will be returned. On that strength, that 19,300 has to be paid. In fact, JSW was not satisfied. They further said that that affidavit is not enough. We want all the 47 creditors to sign an agreement that they will repay us. Only then we will go ahead, because this court case was not completed. And the 47 creditors gave that undertaking. It took about a few months. So it was by March 31st, 2021 that the effective date got pushed. And then only the revival started. Now, what happens to the banks? Do they lose because they lose 90,300? Well, analysts are not taking a negative view on banks, because when the liquidation happens, who is to say that you may get a value better than 19,300 crore also? So it's not negative. But the important point is the deep negative that JSW went to perhaps was uncalled for, because they're going to get at least the money they spent. Now, Nigel raised a very correct point. What happens to the money spent on revival of the plant over and above 19,300? JSW sources told me they did not spend a penny. It was the EBITDA or internal accruals of Bhushan Power itself. They raised loans, commercial paper, on the strength of Bhushan Power's balance sheet. All that JSW gave was a comfort letter. So they did not spend money on it. However, the value of the plant has gone from 2.5 million tons to 5 million tons. Number of workers from 8,000 to 20,000. That benefit they are not going to harvest, but they don't lose money.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I spoke to a bunch of lawyers as well, and there's a lot of questions still about whether there'll be a review petition in the
There is going to be a review petition.
But the context of that is that a review can only happen. You cannot. The clause says that the judgment has to be wrong in law. Technically, there has to be an issue.
Technicality.
You cannot argue and say that, well, I don't like it, so I'd like to.
I'm not qualified on the law at all.
Yeah, no, that's
all I heard from the bankers and JSW is that they are going to file a review petition. They don't have much hope, because if you look at the record, the reviews being carried.
The important thing also is that the petition goes back to the same bench. So,
they might file it, might get thrown out. Correct. I mean, they might not,
And then they have a second leeway. Yeah. They can file a curative petition if the review is rejected.
The only thing is the feedback I got from senior lawyers is very rare, extremely rare for we to sort of...
Curatives you get, but reviews are hardly ever carried, was what I was told.
On the bench, some feedback that I got is, will there be a change in the composition of the bench as well?
So basically, one judge is retiring.
Yes.
No.
I think the lady judge is, retiring sometime.
No,
she's going to come back. So I don't know what time is allowed, etc. Sorry.
The person who is retiring is the Chief Justice, Sanjeev Khanna. On May 14th, the lady Bela Trivedi is retiring on June 23rd.
Correct.
So she will have to, the review will go to her only. You can't file the review after 2 months. You have to file the review within...
June 23rd is now.
No. It has to be filed before, within a month or something like that. So it does go to her. All those are very clear now. It goes to the same two people, Bela Trivedi and the other person. So, reviews don't have a record.
The point is that, reviews are extremely rare. I think you need to remember that.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the bottom line, really. Latha, thank you very much for that.